If you scan the entire text of the Constitution, you will not find a sentence or anything close to it that reads, "the right of the people to have an abortion." Is abortion really a constitutional right? Or is that just what the feminists want you to believe? Hi everyone, my name is Kim, and on this channel, I break down legal and political concepts that are in the news so you can understand what all the buzz is about, and which politicians are bullshitting you. Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice or neither of the two, we can all agree that abortion is an extremely contentious and unsavory issue in politics. We know this because we hear about the issue every election cycle, during judicial nominations, and just about every day. According to the Guttmacher Institute, an estimated 862,000 abortions took place in 2017 in this country. That's out of 162 million females, which means that only 0.5% of women got abortions. If you look at the total population, that's 0.2% of the population got abortions. And yet, the issue is absolutely everywhere. Why? Well, the answer lies in the fact that abortion is considered to be a constitutional right, and this right is either considered abhorrent or is justly recognized by the Supreme Court after a long and hard fight by women. But is abortion really a constitutional right? Or is that just what the feminists want you to believe? Let's start out with the simple fact that if you scan the entire text of the Constitution, you will not find a sentence or anything close to it that reads, "the right of the people to have an abortion." So where did this right come from? The Supreme Court in the case Roe v. Wade decided that it was found within the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The Due Process Clause states in part that nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. But what does this mean? Well, the origins of due process as a legal concept originated from the Magna Carta, where essentially no man was to have certain horrible things done to him, like imprisonment, except by the judgment of his peers or the law of the land, aka due process. In other words, due process as a legal concept was meant to dictate when the government could imprison or restrain someone. It didn't have anything to do with rights or what the government should allow people to do by virtue of the fact that the ability or the right is God-given. Nonetheless, the Supreme Court started interpreting the Due Process Clause in the latter tradition, also known as natural law, where the Constitution reaffirms pre-existing fundamental rights, aka life, liberty, and property, that are entitled to protection whether or not they are explicitly stated in the Constitution. This started as early as 1905 with the Lochner versus New York case, where the general right to contract was interpreted as a right that liberty ensured. Fast forward to 1973, Roe v. Wade rode on the coattails of several prior cases where the court held that certain rights were interpreted as ones that privacy ensured, including the right to birth control. But Roe took this a step further. A Texas law made it a crime to procure an abortion except to save the life of the mother. Until Roe, abortion had been a state issue. That is, until the Supreme Court heard Roe and changed that trajectory forever. The court in Roe famously held that in the penumbras of the Bill of Rights, there are certain rights that are fundamental to the family. One of these rights, in privacy, was interpreted to mean the right of a woman to have an abortion, in limited circumstances. But since Roe, the right to abortion has been expanded. Famously, in Planned Parenthood v. Casey, the court upheld a Pennsylvania law that put limits on abortions where there was a 24-hour mandatory waiting period after seeking an abortion, but got rid of the requirement of the woman to notify her spouse. So, do we have a constitutional right to an abortion as women? Short answer is yes, but not as found explicitly in the Constitution itself. Rather, in the law that the Supreme Court has created or interpreted. The question now remains whether the precedent created in Roe will be overturned with a newly conservative-leaning court. That all depends on if the issue comes up to the Supreme Court at all and what grounds the case is based on. Either way, I suspect that abortion will remain within the political conscience for the foreseeable future. What do you think the government's role should be in abortion? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed and hit the subscribe button below for more videos.